Suburbia always felt like safety to Maggie Collins. Clean lawns, wind chimes, golden retrievers, the kind of neighborhood where nothing bad ever happens until someone new moves in. It was a Tuesday morning. Maggie was trimming her roses when she saw the U-Haul truck pull up next door. A tall, broad-shouldered man stepped out, neatly pressed shirt too clean for someone who just drove across the country. He waved with a kind smile. "Hey there, Maggie," he called out casually. Maggie froze mid-snip. She had never seen this man in her life. "Do I know you?" she asked, approaching with polite confusion. "Oh no. Sorry, I'm Jordan. Just moved in. Saw your name on the mailbox." He smiled again, too long this time. "You're originally from Ohio, right? Akron?" Her spine stiffened. "That wasn't on the mailbox." "Yeah, long time ago," she replied, trying to sound unbothered. He nodded. "Small world. I passed through there once. Anyway, pleasure meeting you." That night, Maggie mentioned the strange encounter to her husband Ben over dinner. Predictably, Ben shrugged. "People Google stuff these days. It's not a big deal." But it was a big deal. The next morning, Maggie found her garden gate open, though she always locked it. Her favorite hydrangea bush had been uprooted. Her daughter Lucy, only 5, was playing in the yard talking to someone Maggie couldn't see. "Lucy, who are you talking to?" "Uncle Jordan," she said cheerfully. "He said I can visit his dog anytime." Jordan didn't have a dog. Maggie was sure of it. She stormed into the backyard, ready to confront him, but the yard next door was empty, silent. At lunch, Ben brushed it off again. "Honey, you're stressed. You've been working overtime and barely sleeping. Don't let your imagination run wild." Maggie didn't say what she was really thinking, that ever since Jordan arrived, the air felt heavier, like something was watching her, remembering her. That night, she stared out her bedroom window and caught a flicker of movement in Jordan's upstairs room. His light was on, and he was just standing there, staring at her window, not blinking. The curtains slid shut. Her heart thundered. She didn't sleep that night. By Friday, Maggie was unraveling. Between Lucy's creepy new friendship with Uncle Jordan and Ben's Olympic-level denial of everything strange, she needed clarity, maybe even closure. So when Jordan invited the whole family for dinner, Ben jumped at it. "He's trying to be friendly, Mag. Come on, let's not be those neighbors." Maggie didn't want to go, but curiosity, or paranoia, won. Jordan's house was unsettling. Too clean, too sterile, like it had been staged for a real estate shoot that morning. The walls were bare, except one framed newspaper clipping near the mantel. Maggie caught the headline, "Missing Girl 2006, Family Still Hopes for Closure." She felt the blood drain from her face. The girl in the photo looked familiar. Before she could read further, Jordan appeared with a tray of appetizers. "Come on in," he smiled. "Meatloaf's almost ready. Hope Lucy likes mashed potatoes." They never told him Lucy liked mashed potatoes. Dinner was quiet, too quiet. Jordan filled the silence with stories. He claimed to have grown up in Vermont, talked about his career in finance, but Maggie couldn't shake the feeling that everything he said was rehearsed, like he'd memorized a script written just for them. Then came the moment. As Jordan passed the wine, he casually turned to Maggie and said, "You know, you look just like your sister." Maggie nearly dropped her glass. "I'm sorry," she said, voice tight. He blinked, smiled. "Your sister, what was her name, Rachel?" The fork froze halfway to Maggie's mouth. Lucy giggled, oblivious. Ben looked confused. Maggie hadn't spoken Rachel's name aloud in over a decade. Rachel had died under tragic, unresolved circumstances when Maggie was just 16. Her disappearance made headlines for a week, and then, like most cases, faded into the past. Maggie never told Ben, never told anyone in Colorado. Jordan shouldn't have known. Maggie stood up. "We need to go now." Ben started to protest, but the look on her face shut him down. They left without dessert. Lucy cried all the way home, begging to go back and see Uncle Jordan's special room with the funny lights. Maggie didn't ask what that meant. She could. Back in their house, she told Ben the truth, about Rachel, about the news clipping, about the name. He shook his head, unsure if she was losing her mind or if he was. There has to be a logical explanation, but Maggie wasn't waiting for one. At midnight, she returned to Jordan's house. The side door was unlocked. Inside, she moved silently through the kitchen, past the spotless living room, down the hallway, and into his study. That's when she saw it on his desk. A photograph of her, taken 15 years ago, standing in the woods. She didn't remember ever taking. Maggie stared at the photograph on Jordan's desk. Her teenage face, younger, raw, and that forest in the background, that forest, the one behind her old high school, the one she and Rachel went into the night her sister disappeared. She picked it up with shaking hands. Behind it, more pictures, some printed, others Polaroids, all of her, walking to school, at her first job, even one from her wedding, taken from a distance. Jordan had been watching her for years. Footsteps. She froze. I was hoping you'd come back. Jordan's voice slid from the shadows like oil. Maggie spun around, heart jackhammering. Who are you? He stepped forward. Calm, too calm. You don't remember me, but I remember everything. Then he said the name. Camp Willbrook, summer of 2005. You pushed me into the lake, laughed when I couldn't swim. The world narrowed. Camp Willbrook, that dumb summer camp her parents made her attend. She remembered the lake, the boy who followed her around, quiet, awkward, always staring. She forgot his name until now. Jordan. But that wasn't the worst part. He kept talking, calmly, slowly. You told your sister I was creepy, that she should ditch me, so she did. That night, in the woods, she left me, alone, in the dark. Silence filled the room like a scream. Maggie whispered, you were there. That night. He nodded. I saw what happened, what really happened. I know the truth you buried. Maggie backed toward the door. You're insane. I'm the only one who remembers, he snapped. Everyone else forgot, but not me. And now I want closure. Maggie ran, back at her house. She called the police, but when they arrived, Jordan's house was dark, empty. No photos, no news clipping, no Jordan. Place has been vacant for a year, one officer said, scratching his head. Maggie looked at him stunned. What are you talking about? We just had dinner there 3 nights ago. They found the U-Haul truck, abandoned in a Walmart lot, no trace of Jordan. And Lucy. She never mentioned Uncle Jordan again, as if the memory had been erased. Ben tried to make sense of it, but Maggie knew. Some memories don't stay buried, some truths don't fade, and some ghosts come wearing a neighbor's smile.